Okay. So again, so like just to nail down your position. So your reasonable conclusion is that he was hit at the flagpole, and then she continued back 54 feet, and even more so. So my next question would be, was Brian Higgins' Jeep there or not?
I forget if Brian Higgins' Jeep was in the driveway or on the street. I know another vehicle was there, seeing them. That's part of the details that right now, again, I've buried, but I forget the specifics.
So that was actually one of the disputes in the testimony. There was I believe it was a Jennifer McCabe who said that Brian Higgins parked his Jeep on the street, which would be behind where Karen Reed was backing into. So I think a lot of people is wondering is that if she really actually did this maneuver, she would have collided with Brian Higgins' Jeep, which would mean then that you'd have to say, well, we're going to have to discount Jennifer McCabe's testimony and believe the other people. And then the question is, well, if we discount that part of Jennifer McCabe's testimony, do we discount other parts of Jennifer McCabe's testimony?
No, let me answer your question with a question. Did Jennifer McCabe, if I recall correctly, did she say for sure Brian Higgins' Jeep was on the street? That I'm forgetting.
I don't think she used that word, but that's what her testimony was, that his Jeep was in. And I believe Jennifer McCabe was definitely one of the witnesses. I believe was Jennifer McCabe.
Yeah, let's assume that Brian Higgins' Jeep was actually on the street. She didn't necessarily have to hit Brian Higgins. She had a brand new car. She had sensors. She had a rear view camera. She would have seen. She would have turned a little bit and avoided it. So there's many ways where she wouldn't have hit. Brian, assuming Brian Higgins' Jeep was on the street, there's many ways where she would have avoided hitting Brian Higgins' his vehicle. Because for me, I just look at the totality of the circumstantial evidence. The circumstantial evidence cannot be seen in any light unless a person realizes her broken taillight, which I know you were going to want to get to later. Her broken taillight, the shards of it were found around his body and some of it in his clothing. I just don't see, because the only way to make it sense, to have it make sense, is to say there was a conspiracy to break her taillight somewhere else and bring it back and bury it in his clothing. For me, that's where I was lost. And because all the discussion of what happened with the feet backwards and the feet forward, it has to be put in context with the broken shards of taillight. Without that, the evidence is lacking.